All right, babe. We're getting our groove on with the music here. How about that?
We're like high tech.
I'm getting fancy with this live stuff. Now I'm just going to find the controls to turn it off. All right. Well, it's that time of the week. Let's have a conversation about something real estate.
Why don't we? What do you want to talk about today?
Well, a little birdie, i.e., you, told me that you want to talk about the KISS method, the keep it simple, stupid method, but we'll just call it the keep it simple method.
I have never ever liked that kiss. I never liked that. And I don't know. It just doesn't. Hey, will you mute yourself?
Sure.
We're trying this out from a new space here. So there you go. So I have never personally liked the kiss method. I don't know. It just seems so weird to me, but it works, right? So I was on a coaching call earlier today, and we were talking about simplification. Now, I don't know for anybody that's listening to this call if you tend to make things more complicated than they need to be, but I do. Linda does.
Yeah, and I do too. And we do it in different ways. So, and I don't want to get ahead of you, but I'm just going to say two things, and I'm going to let you. I don't want to get ahead of you, like I said, but you complicate things because you don't want to do something. It's not fun. So instead of just like going and doing it, you'll create all these other things that you think you have to do in order to do it. So then you just don't do it at all. And I will like over research it, over analyze it. All of those steps that you think of doing, and then you go, oh, well, I just can't do it. It's too much. I'll actually go do all those things. And then by the time I get to doing the thing that I need to do, it's been a minute, right? Like, so if we're guilty, that's how we're both guilty, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I think we're guilty of making things way more complicated than they need to be. Right. And I can look back in our businesses, I can look back in our lives at so many things that really just weren't that complicated. And we just literally complicated them to no end. And just so you guys know, Linda just took a deep breath because what I usually say after complicated, she's like, please don't say that on the internet. She's like, please don't say that. Right. And
So
so
So I'm going to focus you. Yeah, exactly. You're so right. I'm like, oh no, he's not going to do that. So what was the Pacific? What is the specific conversation you were having this morning where this came up?
so obviously I spend a lot of time coaching and mentoring salespeople. And what I can identify in my life, and I'll just make this about me, is so many times we make things way more complicated than they need to be because we don't want to actually do the activity. And in the salesperson's world, the activity is prospecting. And I think once you can understand that nobody wants to prospect ever, that you're not alone when you don't want to do it. And that's why all of a sudden you have to take the cat to get a pedicure, you have to reorganize your spice drawer, you retile the kitchen, you clean the bathroom with a toothbrush today on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. We tend to make things way more complicated. So it's the old, we're getting ready to get ready so that we can get ready, and then we never go, right? And it was really cool because the young man I was spending time with today, like, he is like, that is just me. And I'm like, no, no, that's all of us. You're not alone. You're not unique in that fact. And I know for a fact I am super guilty of that. And I love what you said, Linda. We all do it in a different way. Linda will take 7 classes, research every subject, research and go. And I'm like, well, I think we need to go get air in the tire today, and I'm going to go to the store because we need to eat next week. And so we do have different ways of doing it. But when you get down to the root of it all, however you deflect it, it's because you don't want to do that one activity that you need to do to be successful in your business. By the way, I think this applies to our lives as well. It applies to parenting, it applies to our marriages, it applies to all sorts of things. So we're talking about it in sales today, but there's way more to it than sales. And
So are you saying it might be a little mindset? Does everything really come back to that?
well, I think more than mindset, it's just your desire to win. And you have to want to win more than you don't want to prospect. You have to want to win more than you don't want to follow up. Everybody wants to go show property. Everybody wants to go on a listing appointment. They all want the fruits of those activities. They just don't want to do those activities. And I think it's just okay just to acknowledge it, because once you acknowledge it, that's 9/10 of the battle. Just being like, you know what, I just really don't want to do this. Awesome. But that's your job. That's how you make a living. That's how you serve people. You connect with people. And sometimes you connect with people at the grocery store, and other times you got to reach out to them to connect with them. And I think we're so it's so easy to find anything else to do than to do this. And so right now in the Shinpaw household, our number one word right now is what, Linda?
Sorry, simplify. We're just trying to simplify things. Take action, right?
So we have a coaching company we've hired to help us with our social media, and it's awesome and it's amazing. But we have done so many things in a way that has made it so much more difficult than just doing what we should do. And I think you need to learn, and I think you need to get better, but you get better by doing it, right? And so when we started in this particular coaching thing, the goal was to get to 100 videos as fast as you can, because obviously the faster you make 100 videos, the faster you make mistakes, the better they get, the better the thumbnail gets. Just all of these things build on. So we literally hightailed it to like 5 videos, and then we stalled, and then it was like, let's do this, and let's reanalyze this, and let's do this, and not on purpose. It's just what we do. And so like I'm jumping up and down inside of our house right now. Simplify, just go do it, just go do it, just go do it. This video that we're doing right now, we've been talking about this video and doing it in this technology for more than 2 months. I'm like, just hit the button and do it. Because if somebody doesn't like our background, and somebody doesn't like where we're sitting, and somebody doesn't like the lighting, then don't watch it. But I promise you, it will be better next week than it was this week, and 5 weeks from now it'll be better, and it is always different a year from now. So I think it's just about taking action and not being afraid of, if it messes up, who cares? Because if you don't take the action and you don't mess it up, it won't work, guaranteed.
And I'm going to bring us back to salespeople, because most salespeople like to do things that are fun, right? And so in our video description, we talked about shiny objects and chasing squirrels might be part of the answer here, and it's true. Whether you're creating things to do or finding something else, like a new shiny object, something new and improved, like this is going to be easier, this is going to be quicker, this is going to be more fun than if I just it, I'll come back to the topic of today's call, right? Pick up the phone and prospect. That's what you were talking about. So people are always trying to find ways to do that easier, to have the business handed to them versus having to go generate it, right? So that would be chasing shiny objects. It's just trying to find some way to do it better, quicker, faster. And then squirrels is just anything else that you could find in your path to chase and go do instead of staying on task. But you know what, Jason? Especially in the real estate industry, you as a realtor, me as a loan officer, prospecting doesn't have to be a 4-letter word. You know what I mean? Prospecting for business means you are meeting new people. You are making new friends and connections, or you're reconnecting with old ones, right? And so, again, it comes back to mindset and how you frame things. If you get up every day excited to help people and serve them, then you should naturally want to prospect, because you get to pick up the phone, talk to them, and help them and serve them, right? So I love this topic, and you and I are always super honest to say, we don't have it all figured out, or we messed it up for a long time before we got it figured out, right? And sometimes there are days you just maybe don't feel like talking on the phone, or you just don't have the energy, or whatever. And so you have a choice. You either want to win more than you want to lose, right? And so you flip the switch and you go into that mode. But if you really can't get it together, then just give yourself the grace And maybe you just need a day off. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Maybe you have been burning the candle at both ends for so long that you just need a break, like you just do. And so maybe you should just go take the day off and recharge and then come back the next day and go full throttle, right? There's all kinds of ways. But at the end of the day, if you're in sales and you like helping and serving people, then you have to accept that prospecting is part of that. But prospecting, again, doesn't have to be a four-letter word. It can be something that is super, it should be the highlight of your job, actually, if that's why you're coming to work.
And Linda, I just wanted to note I recorded that part where about the day off. I recorded that for you, so I'm going to play that for you every single day because Linda never takes a day off. She is just a she wants to win so bad, and so it's important. Sidebar: it's important you have self care.
I take time off, but I am definitely guilty of pushing through and finish a project. It's just my
I'm
nature.
not. I'm not.
That's why we make a good pair. You pull me away, and I push you to finish some things.
That's right. Well, listen, you guys, thanks for reaching out or thanks for following us, watching this. Hopefully, it brought value. If we can help you in any way, please reach out, message us, connect with us. Most of you have our cell phone numbers. Let us know what we can do to help you. Don't be stuck, and don't let things be so complicated that you just don't take action. We've taught our kids like be certain in everything you do, and even if you're wrong, be certainly wrong, because you can always go back and fix it. And I would say the same thing in this. Like, no matter what you do, just take the action. And if it's wrong, just change directions, but just take the action. Just go do it. And it will serve you so well, and you'll have the opportunity to touch and serve a ton of lives in your professional career.
Yep. And please don't be bashful. We have a lot of resources that we want to make available to you, and a lot of them are free. So reach out if you're struggling with what to do every day, or if you're struggling with what prospecting really is supposed to look like, we can help you, and it would be our pleasure. So, y'all have a great day. It was awesome spending time with you.
Bye, everybody.